members of the graduating class of 2021, parents, staff, honoured guests, welcome. I want to start by thanking everyone who has played a part in making this special day. Nothing is easy or simple in the days of COVID, but thanks to the hard work of Ms. Fowle and the Parent Organising Committee, Kyle-san and all the support staff team, Mr. Davis, the facilities team, Mr. Johnson, the IT staff, your homeroom teachers, principals, and countless others, here we are once again on the Keith Dixon Field, celebrating this very special day, your special day. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of those dedicated teachers and support staff who have played such an important role in your life's journey towards graduation, not just this year, but over many years. I'd also like to thank the members of the board whose volunteer service to the school has supported our entire school community. Staff, members of the board, please stand so that we can thank you. To parents and guardians here today, many, many congratulations. Your babies finally grew up, and you must be so proud of the incredible young adults that they have become. Although they are leaving the family nest, we know that they will always carry with them a piece of the home that you have created. Parents and guardians, please stand so that we can congratulate you on your truly amazing graduating children. Congratulations. And on that note, a particular thanks to the parents just before our ceremony began. On behalf of the class of 2021 and the Parent Organising Committee, I was presented with a donation, which I understand is to be put towards our COVID safety measures. So a big thank you to all of the parents and to all of the students in the class of 2021 for that. Yes, round of applause. Thank you for that. Yes. And then to our students, our graduating class, what can I say? Thank you for being you. You've had such a disrupted journey through the COVID years of high school, but nothing has fazed you. This amazing class with courage and compassion that our speakers before spoke of. You kept on the straight and narrow. You got the job done. Nothing could put you off course. Nothing confused you. You were convincing to the last, and we are so proud of you. Congratulations. However, before we can move on with the celebrations and hand you your diplomas, there is one tiny little thing that we have to settle. On behalf of your teachers and parents, I first have to ask you a very important question. And my question is this: knowing the ethical, principled, courageous and convincing young people that you are, why on earth did you choose for your graduation motto the one that you did? Which is, if you can't convince them, confuse them. If you can't convince them, confuse them. If you think about that quote, it basically means that if you can't win an argument with sensible logic and reason, you should instead resort to confusion and deception. Not exactly a principled position to take with you into adult life, and not something which this class, the class of 2021, it's not something about you that we've come to know and love. The motto itself dates back over 100 years. It's been used to describe the despicable tactics of untrustworthy politicians who rule through lies, confusion, manipulation, and deception. Not usually the type of thing you might choose for a graduation ceremony. So I will admit, you got me. I didn't get it. I couldn't understand it. I was very confused. I was definitely not convinced. So I decided to ask some of you, why did you choose it? If you can't convince them, confuse them. Why was this your graduation motto? And the most common response I received from you went something like this, and I'm quoting one of you here. You said, "I personally did not vote for this quote, and honestly, I'm confused about what it means. Whoever did vote for it didn't convince me." But thankfully, there were a few of you who did shine a light on this for me. You explained to me that the motto spoke to you the fact that sometimes life is confusing. It's hard to be convinced because there's uncertainty all around us. You told me that being convinced is not necessarily the best place to be. It's more important to get involved, to do your best, to embrace the uncertainty and confusion of the situation. Only by doing this, you said, can you come to understand it and break through to the other side. I started to think about what you said, and I realized, class of 2021, that you did not let us down. Your wisdom, as always, shines through. You are right. You're so right. Being confused is perhaps not such a bad place to be. For example, I might be totally convinced that the Earth is flat, or totally convinced that the moon is made of cheese, but it doesn't make me right. And if I am convinced the Earth is flat, and someone shows me a picture of my planet from space, if I'm lucky, I'll start to get confused. And being confused would be the best possible thing that could happen to me. Only then might I begin to shift my thinking and grow my understanding. So yes, we might say that being convinced without also allowing yourself to be confused might be one of the most dangerous things you could ever do. When I was just a little bit younger than you are today, I remember watching on the TV news that the Space Shuttle Challenger had exploded 73 seconds into its flight, with the tragic loss of all 7 crew. The Space Shuttle was the embodiment of a dream, a reusable spacecraft that was supposed to revolutionize space travel and connect humanity with the stars. The crew of the shuttle program would no longer be dominated by the white male pilots of the Apollo era, but would instead aim to represent the diversity of society, including both women and people of color. So convinced in the dream, NASA accepted President Reagan's request that on the Challenger, for the first time ever, a non-astronaut, a teacher, would be one of the crew. The message was convincing. Space travel on the shuttle is so safe, even a teacher can fly. We were not confused. We didn't want to be confused. We were all convinced. But behind the scenes, a group of engineers could see disaster in the making. The O-rings, these large rubber rings that are essential for the structural integrity of the rocket boosters, were seriously flawed, especially in low temperatures, as was the case on the day of the launch. While the engineers didn't have the complete data to prove beyond doubt that the O-rings would fail, everything in their professional gut told them that they would. The chances of a disaster were high. People knew the chances were high, yet the shuttle still launched. Why? The Challenger explosion is an example of a widely known phenomenon called groupthink. Groupthink happens when a group, perhaps because of external pressure to deliver, perhaps because of an overconfidence in itself and its systems, or perhaps because of an all too strong desire for internal agreement, suppresses data that is uncomfortable or confusing. And when this happens, decisions are taken that are bad decisions, with potentially catastrophic results. Much has been written about the challenge and disaster in the 35 years since the crash. It is now acknowledged that nobody involved was a bad person. Nobody deliberately wished for the flight to fail. It was simply that people forgot how dangerous it is to allow yourself to be too easily convinced. This was still experimental spaceflight. People should have remembered that the risk was high. Yet the external pressure to deliver on the dream and an over-reliance on the rules of decision-making in which hard data, not judgment, was needed to abort a mission, meant that the flight was launched. As one historian, Diane Vaughan, put it, they chose to apply the rules at a time when the rules should never have applied. It was groupthink. Now, you may not go on to build the next NASA spacecraft, but the world you will inherit faces many opportunities and many challenges. And whatever you do in life, you will need to face and embrace them. The post-pandemic reality, the climate crisis, the crisis in social justice and equity, in democracy, information, global health, food, water, education. There is no shortage of challenge for you to embrace. Yet one thing is certain, none of it is easy, none of it is simple, none of it is clear. If you are too easily convinced, you probably need to spend some more time allowing yourselves to be confused. The good news is that you are ready for this challenge. You've studied hard, and your parents and teachers have taught you well. How many times has your teacher deliberately made you confused? Not so much that you wanted to give up, but enough to create a space in your brain where real learning You understand that just because someone disagrees with you, it doesn't mean that they are wrong, and it doesn't mean that you are right. You've learned that it is more important to question the answer than it is to answer the question. Perhaps most of all, you've learned that it is just when you are most sure of yourself, most convinced that what it is you believe to be true is true, that is when you need to open your mind to the confusion that will unlock the door that allows you to see the world differently. Class of 2021, I thank you for your motto. I'll admit you had me there for a while. You got me confused. You made me think. And now, finally, I am convinced. If you can't convince them, then you probably haven't confused them enough. And that is a lesson for us all. 2021, class of 2021, go out into the world, ask your questions, embrace confusion. And as you do so, stay true to who you are, young people of empathy, of compassion, of moral purpose. We will miss you from NIS. Your parents will miss you even more. But the world is ready for you, and you are ready for the world. Go out and make a difference. Inquire, inspire, impact, and just occasionally confuse. Congratulations to you all.